Are you afraid of being judged? Is your fear of being judged limiting you from participating in life in a more meaningful way? If that's you, if you ever stop yourself from doing something you wanted to do just because you don't want to be misinterpreted, then this video is for you. And it all starts with one negative comment. When I first started creating content, I was aware that this was coming, but yet the day that it came, I was at a choice point. I had to decide who I am in the face of this negative comment. So I'll let you watch the train of thought I was in today, right after coming from a networking event where I met a lady that was reminding me of why being more of myself wasn't really gonna hurt me, but instead it was going to help me stand out, which is literally what being different means, right? I am not the same as everyone, so I should not really be afraid of showing what makes me different than other people. So yeah, I'll let you watch the train of thought I was in right after my encounter this morning with this wonderful lady. Like, you just gotta understand that that comment has no place in my space. It rhymes. It has no place in my space. So I finally got to the point that that I said, what? I was so afraid of that. Like, the first time this happened to me, I was high on mushrooms. Like, I was having like one of those experiences, right? That like was so intense because I was going from a low to a high, from a low to a high constantly. I was like working through stuff or hang-ups that I had. So if you ever do something like that, it's because you have an intention to see something clear and then grow from it. It's like supposedly, or at least how it should be used, as a boost to propel you further, right? Otherwise it would take you longer. So that's what it is for. Anyway, so use it like that. If you ever do it, just make sure you have a good intention like that. So yeah, I was working through some stuff regarding my attachment because I was going through a separation and I was a new mom. My baby was probably 6 months and I was going through divorce. And I wasn't really like financially stable on my own, and I didn't really have much that would make me feel secure. And so I was freaking out, right? The worst thing that could happen to me happened to me. And now I have a baby. It's not just me going through it. Now I have a baby. And like on this mushroom trip, I literally was so confused and angry looking at my ex-husband. And I was like yelling at him, like, what did I even care what you thought about me? Like, why the hell did I make what you think of me more important than what I think of me? I literally was so confused, trying to understand what would ever compel me to do that. And I felt so annoyed. And I was angry and I was yelling at him, poor guy. We have a lovely relationship. We are still family. We have a baby. It's all good. This was all about me, right? All about me. And I was just letting out my anger, but it was anger towards myself for ever like allowing this to be the limit I would put on myself. It just did not make sense. And this is feeling, every time I go back to that, like I relive this feeling and I'm like, all I had to do is bring that to the fact that you put something out there and people comment, completely misunderstanding the point, just letting you know you offended them somehow, right? They have to like put you in your place. They have to like show you who's smarter. It's like a battle of the egos. And I even brought this up in a meeting with my real estate team. I'm like, how would you guys respond to a negative comment? And then there were some that said, oh hell no, put them in their place, like no. And then there were others that would be like, it's probably not the best idea. But I was already convinced that why would I ever give him that power, right? It's like, no, even though I am compelled inside because I'm upset, I was upset. It's like annoying. It's annoying because I literally see through, and I know your comment has no place in my space. This is what I know. I haven't been able to verbalize it, which is why it's harder for me to be aware with it when it's happening. But if you do that, then you will be more aware in the moment and you can choose to change it in the moment. So I already know that's wrong, right? I do not fight. Like, what the hell? Why would I even? Responding to put them in their place. Tacky. Deleting it, probably the best. Now responding, also another good one, because you can at least see the character that I have. It's like, I'm not gonna go fight with this petty comment. I don't need to delete it, because I know that the people that look at it through the right lens, through the intended lens, and they're not projecting their stuff on my material, it can see what the intention is. Those are the people that will see that I did not respond and think, oh, good, she does not get like caught up in drama, unnecessary drama. She knows how to pick her battles. Like, that's the kind of assumption I would make when I see that. I would not see that and think, oh, coward, you don't have a good comeback. Like, come on. So anyway, all of this to illustrate the point that I went back to that place in which I could not understand, why would I ever care more, right? It's not about not caring, because I deeply, deeply care about my impact on you. Very respectful. However, I am just as respectful with myself. And that's why I can tell you that your opinion of yourself really has to matter more to you than anyone else's opinion of you. And if you can't say that confidently, then you gotta check yourself, because there's something you're doing that is not up to your own standards. Change it. I don't know why this got a little bit aggressive, but it's because it's still that residual anger that I have when I put myself back in that position, in those memories of how I felt when I was like high on on mushrooms, and like realizing that, oh my God, I completely like shot myself in the foot. And then right after that, I started having like an ego death, and I just didn't understand what anything meant. What do we even care about anything? Like, even having a kid, like, I would look at my baby and think, what the hell? Why did I even do this? Like, I lost complete care about anything, even my life. It was like, why is this important? That complete ego death. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, but it's pretty terrifying. And I was sitting, and then I was just so scared that I because I was feeling like I cared about nothing. And my ex-husband was there, and he said, when nothing matters, all that matters is what you do. It is so wise. I was still upset, scared, and I had just yelled at him, discovered that, why did I even care? So I'm not able to understand why this is deep, but I knew it was deep. I knew it was the answer. But I needed to like sit down with myself and understand why that's the answer. I had to integrate it. So I remember I just told him, I know you're right and that this is really wise, but I can't think about why. So can you leave me alone? And then I just pushed everybody out of the room, and then just with myself. And then I realized that you are here to experience this world. Whether you like it or not, you are already here. You are gonna experience the world, right? So then I thought, okay, then why do we choose to do anything hard? And the reason that we will ever do anything hard is because it gives us something that improves our quality of life. So there are those of us who invest in our future so much. We set ourselves up for success. And there's some of us that do it, but in a self-destructive way, because we are just like consuming. And we're not creating, we're not doing anything hard. We are instead dealing with the fact that life is hard by self-harming, because we self-soothe with things that we shouldn't. People is one of them. And buying stuff, we get into debt we are unable to care for our future. And so I understood that we do anything that matters because this is the experience we want to have. I remember wanting to be a mom, and then I got in touch with myself as to why I wanted to be a mom. And then I saw all the beautiful things that I was gonna experience. And it all came back to me. All the meaning that I lost in that ego death experience, like all the meaning came back, and I was like, oh, okay, okay. So yeah, just remember all the things that matter to you because you are the one creating the life experience you're gonna have. So if you love the experiences that motherhood bring, then go for it. Okay, you gotta pay the price of admission, which is to be consistent, to create, to the reps. You know the reps, and you know that it's not. Oh, at least you should be very aware that at the beginning is gonna be hard. There's gonna be days that you don't feel like doing it. You're gonna do it, like all of that stuff. Like you really need to integrate that part, and the tool that we have at our disposal. I call it consecrate the grind. In other words, people call it also romanticize your life. So that's why you should use the beautiful cup and the beautiful like silverware that you have and use it. You are making it so sacred. You get to use the beautiful cup. Even if you're by yourself, like I always use the most beautiful things I have because I want to enjoy them. And the people that have that thing that is that joy, that vive, the people that have that is because they literally consecrate the grind. They romanticize the daily things. Like I made laundry special because I started introducing my son to it. And now every time that I do the laundry, I tell him, you're going to take care of your socks and your underwear. And then I start telling him like, so when you're gonna turn 8, which other piece of clothing do you want to include? And he'll pick the shirts, and then I'm like, all right, when you turn 8, you're gonna also add that to your list. And then of course he complains like, but mom, it's a lot of work. Then I bring it back to me. Do you see how many piles of laundry do I have here? And they're all yours, I tell him. This is all your piles of laundry. Do I go and ask you to help me with my laundry? Do you ever have to fold my underwear and socks? He's like, no, because I'm grown and I can do it. And that always works because he goes like, yeah, mom, I see that. Yeah. No, mom, you don't ask me. Okay, mom. Yeah, mom, it makes sense. That's what I get. Oh my God, he's so cute. Those of us who have limited time, that's a way to become more efficient and a way to become less worried about what others make you feel. It's by owning that you feel it. I definitely feel it, but I also know that it's irrelevant and it does not belong in my space. So it becomes automatic, the fact that I just have to block you. And I immediately go like, oh, yeah, I forget that this is broadcasting. Their own limits, their own jails they are in, which is why they have to police the people that are free offending everyone. That's why they have to make sure they expose the offenders out there of these crimes. So yeah, get out of jail. Literally, that's what it is. Think about it.